Hey guys, what happens after you level up from narcissistic abuse? I'm Michelle Coleman, and I am going to share 5 things that happen once you level up from narcissistic abuse. So let's get into the first thing. Leveling up allows you to level the playing field with the narcissist. Whether you realize it or not, you are playing a game when you are engaged with them. Sometimes you have no choice but to play this game. Other times you have a choice to get out and not play the game. That should be the objective, to get out and not play. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who do have to interact with narcissists and are just not able to get out. Reminder that that should be your goal, that should be your objective, but for so many people, it's just not an option. What happens when you level up from narcissistic abuse? All right, so you level the playing field, but before we go further into that, understand that true leveling up cannot be fake. This isn't a fake it till you make it type of thing when we talk about leveling up. In other arenas, as it relates to other things, people might encourage you to fake it until you make it. Well, in this arena, when it comes to narcissistic abuse and healing and recovery from narcissistic abuse, faking it until you make it is just not realistic. When it comes to healing and recovering from narcissistic abuse, you simply just have to do the work. You have to do the work because you literally have to reprogram your mind. If not, and you adopt the fake it until you make it thinking, everything is just going to resurface. All of the dysfunction is going to resurface. That which you've tried to suppress is going to come to the surface. So you cannot fake it until you make it. Before leveling up, the enemy had power over you, right? The enemy had power over you because you didn't understand what you were up against. So the enemy was winning for so long, beating you up, attack after attack. But once you have grown skin in the game, they say you get skin in the game. Well, I say you grow skin in this game. So you grow skin in the game. Let's say it's thick skin, right? So let's say it's thick skin. So you've grown thick skin in the game, and now you're able to play. You have a fair shot at winning because now you know what's going on. Now you know what you're up against. And not only that, then you have gained the tools, skills, resources, and wisdom to play to win. And you know what? I hate saying the winning thing because, we don't want to play. But we'll say we'll play to annihilate the battlefield because that's really what you want to do. You want to annihilate the battlefield. You don't want to play, but sometimes you have to play. So instead of focusing on winning, because see, this narcissist can play this game way better than you can. So when we play, we're playing to stay alive. We're playing to gain footage. We're playing to defend ourselves. The last thing that we should be aiming to do is just getting rid of the game altogether, which essentially means annihilating the battlefield. So there's nothing to play. This brings me to the second point, which is that you operate from an empowered state. So, you gain the tools, you have resources now, you've gone through your healing process, you have wisdom now, you have knowledge, you have discernment. And so now This allows you to operate from an empowered state. So no longer are you this little weak individual, right? You are no longer a victim. And I love in this community, a lot of people call survivors not survivors but thrivers. So you come from a place of victim, which I hate saying that word, but victim, and then you're no longer a victim anymore. You're a survivor. And then once you're no longer a survivor, you're then a thriver. And I like to add into the end, you become a ferocious warrior. So you're not this little weak thing, not this weak individual anymore, right? You have power. So, number 3, you recognize and you understand your personal power. So, within the personal power, now you're operating from a more assertive place. Now you have boundaries. Now you understand what your standards are. Now you are upholding your standards. Now you're operating in your purpose. Now you're focusing on self-care. Now you have self-trust. And now you have self-love. So this is when you begin operating from a place of personal power. Personal power encompasses all those things and much more. Number 4, the narcissist must choose a different target. So once you have leveled up in your healing journey, the narcissist must choose a different target. No longer are you a good target for them. Narcissists target certain individuals. Narcissists need something to survive, and that is called fuel. It's what we call fuel. It can be money, attention, sex. Just really depends on what the need of that narcissist is. But just as a car needs gas and fuel in order to go, in order for you to drive that vehicle, has to have fuel, has to be fueled up, right? Gassed up. The narcissist gotta be gassed up, literally. The narcissist has to have fuel in order to survive. If they don't, they cannot and will not survive. So now that you are a person who is now operating in your personal power, you're basically starving them. At this point, they cannot survive by trying to extract fuel from you because you're not going to give them any. And they know this. So they have to find someone else. Narcissists target individuals who don't love themselves, individuals who have no boundaries, individuals who are not going to put up a fight. They want what's easy for them. They don't want to, narcissists don't like to do a lot of work. They really don't. They're really lazy individuals. They don't like to do a whole lot of work. Most times people are working, doing all the work for them. Like everyone else is basically their slave. So the narcissist is not going to want to do a lot of work. They want what comes easy. So they want an easy target, a target who's going to say, okay, yes to everything. Basically, they're not going to tell the narcissist no. They're not going to stand up for themselves. So that makes it easy for the narcissist. Now, some narcissists do like a challenge. So they gain fuel if they can overpower someone who's very strong, who has boundaries, who has self-love. Well, if they can gain power over that person, they feel a tremendous sense of satisfaction. So some of them do like a challenge, right? Overall, though, if you are even a person, an individual like that, if they are not able to pierce through you, if they're not able to get you to lower your standards, they're not able to break through your boundaries, they're gonna move on to the next person. They cannot stay in that situation with you because you're not giving them what they need to survive. So if they're not able to get that power and control over you, they've got to find someone else, right? So they're forced to go to someone who is disempowered. Number 5, and the last thing, you become a Kyle man and a Kyle woman, which means you literally become a force to be reckoned with. And actually, Merriam-Webster defines a force to be reckoned with as someone who is strong and cannot be ignored. So, this is what happens after you level up from narcissistic abuse. Don't be fooled. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to keep on digging. So this is what happens after you level up from narcissistic abuse. You level the playing field. You've grown thick skin in the game. You become a powerful and empowered individual. You no longer become a good target for the narcissist. They are forced to move on to someone else. And you become a Kyle man or a Kyle woman. You literally become a force to be reckoned with. That's all I got for you today. Be encouraged to keep moving forward.